Hey, good afternoon. How are you today? My goal is to do this video on goal setting and what are my own personal goals, not only for ministry, but as far as my business as well. My personal goals, it really started when I was, I guess, in high school, college. I went to college to be a doctor, pediatrician, and that was my life goal. But somewhere between A and B or A and C, um, that goal wasn't made, and I guess it was because I didn't really sat down to write out where I wanted to be in 5 year, 10 year, 15 year, or even 20 years from then. After dealing with the class on goal setting, I learned to actually sit down and focus on what I want to accomplish in life, not only for long term, but as well as short term. But my personal goals, of course, was not to be a pastor. Right now, I'm currently pastoring. And that goal was nowhere written down, nowhere even thought about. But I guess that's what God had for me. So after I figured out, hey, God did call me for ministry and something great, I then had to take the time to write down where I wanted to be at within the next 5 years, where I wanted to be at within 20 years, where do I see the ministry going? Because I know starting out, I may not have everything that I wanted. I may not have all the right paint on the wall, may not have all the exact color chairs that I want, may not even have the right microphone and sound system I want. But I realized I had to start somewhere. But when setting the goals, my goal is to get the fancy equipment. The goal is to get a nice mixer board for the sound system. My goal is to get a projector screen so I can have the scriptures and the songs on the screens and everything. So I had to write down my goals. I couldn't allow what I see now deter my spirit on where I want to be. So it is very important that when we set these personal goals, we must make sure that these goals are attainable. If I know within 5 or 10 years I may not have $50,000 or $60,000, then I have to put in my mind, hey, maybe I need to start at 20,000, 15,000, 10,000, and just work my way up and build myself. Because oftentimes what happens is we set unrealistic goals, and when that time comes, either 5, 12, 13, 15 years later down the line, you'll get mad at not only yourself, but you'll get mad at God because things didn't happen for you. So my personal goal is to be elevated in ministry. Within 5 years, I would love to be elevated, not only from the pastoral stance, but to the apostle. That's one goal. So in having that goal, guess what? I need to study up on being an apostle. I have to work on doing the works of the apostle. Sit under people that ready to guide me and lead me into the way I need to go in the apostle position. Not only that, but I also see myself with a church daycare and my own personal daycare. Of course, church daycare for nonprofit reasons, and of course for the separate daycares for profit. I see myself in the next 7 years having a daycare up and running at the church, probably even before then. But yeah, we gotta set realistic goals. Other goals that I have planned, like I said, not only the church, but I also want my daycare center. Not only daycare center, but I like to have my mentor program for young men. That's another thing. And once again, have to write it down. So I wrote it down on my pad and paper. I prayed about it. And I said, now, Lord, I want this mentor program. I'm tired of seeing young men with their pants hanging down. I'm tired of seeing them out there smoking weed. I'm tired of seeing them drinking and just ruining their life. But I want to give them something better for their life, and I want to introduce something better, because the streets only introducing the bad things to them, and After which, guess what? They're going to think that's the only thing they're here for. That's the only thing they go for. That's the only thing God purposed them to do, but God has greater for them. So I really do want to do my mentorship program. I planned on getting that up and running. That's one of my short-term goals, actually, before the end of the year is up. And I believe God is going to do great things on that. But like I said, when dealing with goals, you got to set it realistically. You gotta know this is what you want. You gotta, in other words, you gotta have what you want to do in your heart. You gotta have this gotta be a great desire of yours in order to set this goal and in order to accomplish the goal. See, many times we'll set the goal, but we won't accomplish the goal. And then that's what messes up. You sitting here, you set the goal, you wrote the goal down, but you don't do nothing to achieve the goal. See, you can write it down, but what are you going to do in order for the goal to come into fruition? You can write down that you want to be a great physician. You can write down you want to be a great lawyer. But what are you doing to enhance the vision that God gave you? Just like being pastors, you can want to be the great pastor. You can want to have the mega churches, but do you have that mega mindset to be a mega pastor? Do you have a mega mindset to be a mega preacher in the city, in the world, in the nation? Do you have that mindset? We can write down all day long, but if you don't study to show yourself approved, then what good will it do? You can write down this, you can write down A, you can write down B, C, D, E, 1, 2, and 3s, but if your heart is not in what you're trying to meet, then it's just there. If my heart wasn't in being a pastor, guess what? I don't think I can be in the place that I need to be right now. If my mindset isn't to be a daycare owner or a child care facility owner, guess what? It won't happen. Word of God says, so as the man thinketh, so is he. So as I leave you today, what are your thought process? What's your thoughts? What's your thought process of your goals that you are setting? Whether it be your short-term goals and long-term goals, I plan to be somewhere. But it's going to take the right mindset, and it's going to take the right heart. It's going to take the right character and the right integrity to get you there. Have a good day.